Hearing, I don't know if Jerry and Chuck want to testify on pawnbrokers. Probably not. You guys here open up a business? You guys signed up, I think, just for the presentation. Anybody else here wishing to make a comment on the pawnbroker ordinance?
I will.
Okay.
I'm Brian Winters, Ted's my grandfather, also Korean War vet, and he and I have been working really hard on this, and are really happy with the way things worked out with the county. You know, I don't think anybody even knew there were pawnbroker ordinances in the county. We sure did, and have been really happy with the way you guys worked with some things.
I think it is the community development staff is probably very helpful as well. Anybody else wishing to make a comment? Is there a motion for the board to close public hearing?
Move to close the public hearing.
Second. Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. So, do you have a recommendation?
Well, at this point, I thought my recommendation would be to accept the change that the prosecutor asked for in 050. And while I'm sympathetic to the idea of a $100,000 bond, and certainly that's what I heard from Mr. Connolly, that he thought that was more than reasonable, and he'd be the first one that would have to deal with it. I was just afraid of making that big of a jump in one fell swoop. That was my only worry. So I would leave that to the commissioners to. I'm quite confident he would not, being the first one, would not object to a $100,000.
Do you have any comments on the size of the bond and maybe why $100,000 you think is in the best interest?
And then also, if you know, if you can address what it costs to post a $10,000 bond versus a $100,000 bond. How much of an additional burden is that?
I actually haven't looked into it, so I can't answer that question. But part of the bond is, you know, in our business, you know, we get a bad rep, and you know, in any business there's good and bad, and there are bad people in our business. There was a big one in Seattle not that long ago where a pawnbroker was working with an organized group of thieves who were ripping off Lowe's and Home Depot, and you know, it's a blight on our business when that happens. So there are people that could come into this community that are, you know, not above board, and that's where our concern lies. And a lot of that, and with gold being at the price it is, you know, we had a big influx of gold buyers coming into the community, whether it be Squint or Angeles. I don't know if they actually set up in a county anywhere, but a lot of those people come into a community and then leave immediately. They don't like to follow ordinances, and there are good ones of those. There's one that comes into this community once or twice a year, and they follow all the rules, you know, and that's, you know, when you buy something, you gotta hang on to it for 30 days. You can't leave the county or the city that it was purchased in for 30 days. That way the police can make sure that people that are selling it are above board. So it's more just to protect the community from people coming in to be above board. They're not gonna steal, they're not gonna, you know, buy stuff without the proper ID, without doing, you know, what we need to do to make sure that we're protecting, you know, the people in this community from people selling stolen goods. And that's what most of it's about. So I don't know. As far as the bond, I mean, like you said, we're gonna be the first ones to do it. If 100,000 is too much, I would, you know, jump it up maybe to 10, like you said. That's a great recommendation to start off with. That seems like a huge jump. But, you know, we threw a number out there.
So if we started at 10, and then if it is a problem, you know, we have another public hearing down the road.
Sounds reasonable.
I don't imagine a lot of people are going to be done unless the pawn shops in this county. But it's time to upgrade it. That bond was raised in 58.
I mean, just because the ordinance says 10 doesn't preclude you from doing a higher one if you choose to protect yourself.
Yeah.
recommendation.
Yeah, based on that, I'd recommend the 10,000 I put in there, because I felt like laddering in, it was just an awfully big jump. Yeah, to go from 1,000 to 100,000.
Well, I'd like to move to approve the updates to County Code 7.02, including the, Brian Wynn's specific recommendation for language in section .050.
Second.
Moved and seconded, and that includes the $10,000 bond limit as well.
That was in the
Yeah.
040, yeah.
Any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.